In this video, we're going to build upon our first tutorial and continue on with some more functionality. Okay, so we're going to start off where we left off with the same database here. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about some very basic calculations. We're going to learn a few more formatting options, and I'm going to show you the basics of how to set up so you can print. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to say, hey, we can tell here this is 4 plus 6 plus 2, there's 12 people here. But if you had a longer list, you're going to want to be able to summarize or add these up much quicker. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to add what we call a sum function. So what you're going to want to do here is you can come up top or you can go on the bottom, depends on where you want to put your sum. For me, I like to put it up top. And there's a few ways you can do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the sum function here. And that's in formulas and the menu bar up here. This formulas. And over here we have auto sum. Okay, you could also see we have sum, average, count, minimums, and maximums. Okay, we're just going to focus on the sum right now. We're going to add these numbers up. So when you click this, it's going to place a formula in that cell. You can see the formula up here in this formula bar, and here's the formula here. And it sets it up so you can simply take your mouse, click on the numbers you want to sum in a series, and highlight them just like this. And you can see it references the cells E5 to E7. You can see they have, it's outlined here in blue, and it tells you where you're summing, and you can simply hit enter here. And it simply adds up all of those numbers. Now, a few ways you can go ahead back into this cell is you can click in the formula bar here and edit that. And again, it tells you you're summing E5 to E7. It highlights it for you. All right, if you wanted to sum more rows, you can do two things. One is you can change the number here. It's going from E5, this number here, 6, 7. So it's going from E5 to E7, which is what the colons are here. If you wanted to go to E, let's say E10, go a little further down, you can see this expands this box. Okay, if you want to go a little further up, E4, we want to start it at E4. You can do that as well. We're not going to want to do that in this case. Okay? If you want to expand the list, you can do this. If you think you're going to put 40 or 50 people in here, you can expand this list to 50 and make the list much longer. Okay, so for now, let's keep this to 10 just for our example. All right. And that's a quick way you can do a sum. The other way you can do that is you can simply type in this formula as is into the formula. So if we go into another cell here and you type equals SUM, you'll see there's a whole bunch of other options here. Okay, but we're going to stick with the sum function. We're going to open the parentheses. You type that in. You're going to click or highlight all the values that we want here. All right, to E10. You're going to close the parenthesis yourself, and then you're of course going to hit enter again. And you get the same result. All right, so you can either go up here to the formula bar and do it this way, or you can simply type in the formula right there. There's a few that you're going to have to learn, sum, averages. For today, we're just going to focus on the sum. We can also type in the average. All right, let's do that. For maybe this one, we're going to add an average of these items. So you're going to click and drag down. Let's keep going down here so we can add more people. So now we have both a sum here and an average. Okay, and again, as I told you, you can go into the formula bar and adjust each of these as you see fit. All right, now what we'll notice is, again, these fonts, this font is, if you come back to the home page here, font is font size number 11. These down here are Arial size 14. These are Calibri 11. So we're going to want to change that. You can change it in two ways. One, you go ahead and just simply click, change this to Arial, and change that to 14. Okay. The other thing we can do is we use this format painter. If you can see this, this is what's going to copy the existing format and paste that format. So if you click that, it's going to paint it into that cell just like that, and it changes it for you. I'm going to undo that for a second. What you can also do is you're going to copy, Control C. You You can see we're copying number 2 here. This format, you can right click, what we call paste special, and you paste those formats. Okay? And we write a line. So you can do that. Now, once you have this here, you can label it. You can say this is the sum or the total. Okay, and this is the average. You type that right in there. Now, a couple things. One is, of course, these fonts are not the same, so we're going to want to change that. So you highlight this, you do the Format Painter, you highlight these two, and all of a sudden you have the same font. What we're going to want to do is create a little space here. This isn't the best looking table. So what you can do is you're going to insert a line here, or 2 lines. You can do that 2 ways. You highlight the row, so it's highlighted, you right click, and you do insert here. And that'll provide you a line below there as well. Okay. What I also like to do is let's highlight all this and let's do a Control B and bold it, or we can come up here and hit B. And once again, we can resize this to make it look nice. Okay. So once we have that, now we have a sum with a total. And let's go back. If you click into the cell again, you can come right into this formula bar, and you can always edit the formula bar. And let's retype this. And we'll say total people. Okay, so that way you can edit the data. All right, so now you have your information. Now you have the sums. Now you have the average amount of people coming. Not that you would want to have that necessarily, but that's something you could do. All right. So the next thing we want to do is we want to be able to reformat this a little bit. So a couple other options we have. If you notice, when you're staring at the screen, you have a lot of boxes here, and it's fine, but it may not be aesthetically pleasing to you. So you can change the view you have, and we're going to go up here to our view menu bar of all of this here. All right. So the first thing you can do, you can view. You can look at the pages in different views. So this is how is it going to print? How is it going to look? This is a normal. We can have it in page break setup, page layout, a whole bunch of different things. What we're going to focus on here is the grid lines. We can click this off, and the grid lines go away. They're still there. The cells are still there, but you can't see the grid lines. It makes it a little neater. Okay. The next thing we can do is we can highlight. All right, we're going to go to Home here. We're going to highlight, let's say, total people, and you can add colors. All right, colors in there. So if you want to highlight that, you change that to yellow if you wanted to. All right, you could also change the font color if you wanted to. This here is your font color. All right, you change that to red. All right. So last thing we're going to do is we're going to set you up to print this. All right. So what you're going to want to do is there's a couple ways you can do this. We're going to go in here. We're going to go to File and Print. And out of the gate, it sets you up to default to that whatever the predetermined section is in Excel. So if we hit Escape here, we're going to go, or this arrow, we're going to go back to the spreadsheet. And you see there's a little line here. This is where Excel designates where the width of the page will end for printing. Okay? And in this case, it's probably not so bad. It looks like it fits. Okay? We're going to go File, we're going to say Print again, and you can view it and see what it looks like. And you can scroll around here, and it says page 1 of 1 down here. You can see what it looks like, and you can print that. All right? You can see it's in portrait format. You can also change this down here to landscape. It'll be sideways, okay, and it'll look like this. You can also change it to letter, what type of paper you want, okay, legal size, for example. It's a little longer, a little wider. Okay, so you have a whole bunch of options here on this side. All right, 2 things I want to point out to you. And let's go back to this down arrow. You can specifically set, if this was a larger page, you can highlight an area. Okay, you can come to Print. You're going to scroll down a little bit to what we call Page Setup. All right. All right. And you can do a few things. One, you can change the size if you wanted to. the zoom size, the scaling. Okay, you can make this 120% of normal, and you'll see everything gets bigger. What you can also do in page setup is you can fit it to one page. So if you had a whole bunch of information that doesn't neatly fit onto one page, you can force it to fit to one page. Now in our situation, there's not a lot of information there, so it's not the best example. All right. What you can also do is set the margins in here. Left, right, top, and bottom. Okay? And you can also center it horizontally or vertically or both by doing this. So if we want it in the center of the page, we can do it just like that. Okay, so a couple of options there for you in printing. Now I'm going to reset all this stuff because we don't need all of what we just did, and we're going to make it look just like that. Another thing we do is we can set what we are, or you hit this arrow, you'll come back to the spreadsheet. Okay, and if you highlight this area, you come back into print. You can, what are you going to print? Print the whole active sheet, or there's a couple options. You can print the entire workbook, which includes all your tabs, or print selection. What did you highlight? That's what you could print. Okay, it's going to have the same effect here in this particular spreadsheet, but it only prints what you have highlighted. All right. All right. The last thing I want to show you, again, hit this to go back to the spreadsheet. All right. Once you highlight an area, you can set that and save that area to be printed in every time, and that's called, if you go to page layout here, all right, you can do print area, and you can set the print area specifically. All right, so that means every time you print, it will look simply to this area. So if I type something down here that I don't want to print, but it's all outside of this box that I just set the print area for, you'll notice print. You'll notice we're going to print our full active sheets, and that test text there doesn't show up because it's down here, but I didn't put it in the print area. Okay. Last thing is in this page layout, you can see you can adjust your margins here if you wanted to, orientation, just like you could in print preview. I hope this was helpful. If you like this content, if you like these videos, please like this video. Please subscribe. That will help you come back to this channel and get more content. But importantly, please put a comment down below. Tell me what you thought about this video, but also, more importantly, put in any functions that you would want to see going forward. I plan on, in addition to these very basic starter videos, I plan to tackle a lot of different specific issues, functionality, formulas, etc. And please make your comments below on things that maybe you would like to see. Thank you.